Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Janet Cresson.
And I'm Justin Riley, and we are here at Madison Tap, part of Robinia Courtyard over on East Washington Avenue. And as far as Madison Tap goes, or I should say as far as Robinia Courtyard goes, Madison Tap is the newest addition, I believe, to Robinia Courtyard. So we're going to learn a little bit about that from John later on in the program.
Yeah, if you're a beer fan, it sounds like this could be a place to hang out, not only for the beer, but the courtyard as well.
Absolutely, and they've got it. We're kind of in a nice little indoor nook back here where there's some eating areas, and then the courtyard is just gorgeous.
It really is. A lot of potted plants, the little Christmas lights. I know the first time I saw it, I was like, wow. And
Yes.
it wasn't even in its full
Right.
I don't know, glamour
Right.
when we first saw it.
Right, and I think you can reserve it for events and things like that.
Oh, really?
So
Oh, that would be great.
You know, it's a great place to hold. You know, if you're having a rehearsal dinner or a reception or something like that, it's a really beautiful place. Good for pictures. Very good for pictures.
And just good for hanging out too, I think.
Yeah.
Also good for hanging out is the Madison Radicals. If you haven't heard of them, we are actually, Madison is the proud home of the Madison Radicals. They're a really good ultimate Frisbee, ultimate disc league
Yes.
team here in Madison. They play at Breese Stevens Field, and we have the coach joining us today.
Yes, Tim DeBile is going to join us, and he's going to talk a little bit about what's in the near future for the Radicals. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, this is their 5th season, and they have always ranked really, really well. We're also talking CrossFit.
Yep, CrossFit Connex. Brian Welker is going to join us from CrossFit Connex. As you've probably heard about if you watch our station, the CrossFit Games are coming here to Madison. So that's a really exciting thing. They've been in California for a while, now they're coming to Madison. And so
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And so we're going to hear from our friend Brian over at CrossFit Connex. And that's coming up right after the break. We're at Madison Tap, part of Robinia Courtyard here on Wisconsin Family.
'Cause every day is a new day.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Family. Justin and I have been on East Washington Avenue at Madison Tap. We're going to learn a little bit more about this new place a little bit later, but right now we're talking CrossFit. And joining us is Brian Welker, who's the owner and head coach over at CrossFit Connex. Now we know that CrossFit Games started in California in 2007, been there 7 years, coming to Madison, Wisconsin this summer. You've got to be excited, Brian.
Absolutely.
And that's good for business, I bet.
Definitely. Thousands of people coming from around the world to come check it out, and they want to get workouts in, so they're going to definitely come by the gym.
What are some reasons, other than maybe competing in these games, which are, my understanding is to determine the fittest people on earth?
Yep.
What about the rest of us folks? Why are the rest of us doing CrossFit?
So people have plenty of reasons to do CrossFit, whether it's to lose some weight, trim down, get stronger, maybe gain some weight, as well as train for sports outside of the gym. I've had some athletes come in playing hockey, playing soccer, playing ultimate frisbee. So a lot of people come in for training of those purposes. But another thing is just being able to do the things outside of the gym that you want to be able to do around the house, errands and
It does have a reputation for being really well-rounded.
Right, yeah. So we're not just doing one thing, we're doing multiple things in different varieties, different combinations and stuff every single day.
And it sounds like there's a functionality component to it, like you said, so they can do things around the house, go to the store,
Yep. Yes.
gardening and things like that.
Yeah, so you're doing some landscaping at home,
Yeah.
you've got 8 yards of mulch that you got to move around from
Been
the
there.
front to the back.
Yeah.
You're shoveling it into the wheelbarrow and then wheeling that back to the backyard. We do a lot of things that mimic those movements and help you use proper movement so you don't injure yourself, and you can kind of keep working all day, even though you probably want to break it up into smaller chunks.
Sure, absolutely. So you mentioned this is to determine the fittest people in the world.
Correct.
That's incredible. That's actually one reason why I'm not doing it. I don't want to put everybody else down, because I would just I'd dominate.
That's good of you, Justin.
Yeah, so you're welcome. But obviously, CrossFit isn't just for people who are already fit. I mean, it's for anybody. So who does CrossFit?
anybody can do CrossFit. We have members that are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, as well as young athletes in their teens. So the whole variety of walks of life, age groups, and for people doing it for different reasons. We can scale and modify anything to allow for anybody to use different types of equipment. And if there are injuries that happen either inside or outside of the gym, we can kind of scale and modify around it.
And so people who join CrossFit don't necessarily have to participate in the CrossFit Games, in other words.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Most of them don't.
Okay.
Most of them can't. Don't you have to qualify to be in that?
Yeah, the qualification
okay.
process is very rigorous. There's some open competition, some regional competition, and it's the top 0.0001% of all competitors.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
Incredible.
it really is a fit person on earth there. How did you get started yourself?
So I got started, I saw it on TV. I was watching the CrossFit Games on ESPN a few years ago. I had trained in football. I played a couple years at Whitewater, got into endurance running, and after 3 years of running, I was like, I miss the barbell. I miss the camaraderie of working out with other people. Saw CrossFit, and I was like, hey, I used to do some of those movements, and went into the gym. Did some things that I was good at, some things I wasn't good at, and it humbled me, but I always wanted to get better.
Right,
so
absolutely.
You were hooked. It
Yeah,
sounds like.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you saw it on TV. Wow, that makes us feel pretty good. Even if it wasn't our TV.
Yeah.
We saw it on TV. So maybe there's another Brian Welker out there watching right now. Who knows?
Maybe. Yep.
So what do you think keeps people coming back to CrossFit Connex?
So to CrossFit Connex, we have a great community of athletes, members, people that are like-minded. They come to the gym, they get their hour of working out, and they high-five, and then they stick around for 20 minutes after a workout, just talking about life, talking about the workout, talking about what we have coming up, and getting excited for things that don't just include the workout, but maybe it's work, maybe it's family, maybe it's events that are happening around the area.
It's almost kind of like a third place for people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the third place idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
A healthy place too.
Definitely.
What's so effective about it? What is it about CrossFit?
So because of the variedness of CrossFit, you're breaking up the monotony of maybe I'm just running, maybe I'm just lifting weights or working on some bodybuilding type stuff.
Darn elliptical.
Right. Yeah, get you away from staring at a wall or a TV for 45 minutes
yeah.
and kind of interact with some people. Being around people has really, for me at least, I get so much out of it. Whether it's coaching or working out with people, I just feed off of people's energy, and hopefully they feed off of mine as well. When I did endurance running and I was just kind of out by myself for an hour and a half at a time, I didn't have somebody to kind of carry me along, but in a workout with 5 other people, I can see them across the way and cheer them on, or see that they're a few reps ahead of me and pick me back up to keep going.
Brian, in 20 seconds or less, when is the best time for people to get started?
Right now.
Perfect.
With the CrossFit Games coming, it's going to be a big rush, so
Yeah.
try to get in before it gets too late.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Thanks. This is Brian Welker. He's with CrossFit Connex. They're on Perry Street. Thanks again.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. We're here at Madison Tap.
'Cause every day is a new day. 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family, and Janet and I are just a hop, skip, and a jump from the Capitol here in Madison over on the near east side. We're at Madison Tap, which is over on East Washington Avenue, and we're going to be excited to talk with some folks later on in the show and learn a little bit more about what's going on.
I bet you wouldn't mind a sample or two either.
I would not, in fact. This is Tim DeBile from Madison Radicals. How are you, Tim?
Good.
And Tim, you're here to talk a little bit about how your season is going, so let's start there. How is your 2017 season going so far?
Well, we started with a couple hiccups.
Okay.
Last year we didn't lose any games, and we lost 2 in the first couple weeks this year, but we've won 6 in a row now, and things are going really well now.
Awesome. And we're talking ultimate frisbee, so this is a spectator sport, as we're finding out, and we'll learn a little bit more about that later on in your interview, but for sure.
Yeah, and if you want to be fancy, it's American Ultimate Disc League.
Yep.
Okay.
If
A
you
lot
want
of people can just go with AUDL, but
Is Ultimate Frisbee okay to say?
yeah,
Was I slandering when I said that?
No, so Frisbee is like technically owned, trademarked by Whammo, and they don't love using it in the
Oh,
sport.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so most people say Ultimate or Ultimate Disc. Ultimate Frisbee's fine too.
It's kind of like saying Kleenex or
Yeah.
a Coke. in
Whammo
general.
hasn't actually ever sued anybody over it, so.
Well, it's good publicity for them.
Right, that's exactly.
Let's talk about your next home game. The home games here at Breeze Stevens Field. Great events, family fun for everyone. Who are you playing and when is it?
Indianapolis, it's July 23rd, and that's Family Day. It's Sunday at noon, and it's actually right across the street from where we are right now at Breeze Stevens Field. So that day we do a lot of stuff for kids. We let them down on the field after the game. We sign autographs. We do some sign making stations. We usually do a clinic before the game. Kind of try to, most of our games are at night and more of a raucous affair. So the noon game on Sunday is much more around trying to get families to come out and learn about the sport.
There'll be ice cream, right?
There is ice cream, yes.
All right, fantastic. And you guys are headed to the playoffs, as I understand.
Yes, we are. Basically, we're going to have a home game either August 5th or August 12th. We're not quite sure yet. And then from there, hopefully we win and we'll head on to Montreal for the championship game.
Very nice. Montreal.
Yeah, guys are pretty
travel a little
excited.
bit.
Yeah, people are really excited to go to Montreal, so we hope we make it. Most of the team has not been to Montreal before. I've been there, and it's an amazing city, so we really want to make it this year.
That's awesome.
I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball. I was looking
A
at
curved disc.
a curved disc. Yes, I was looking at some of your roster, and one of your players is like 6'7".
Yeah.
So is that this? I mean, is that kind of the norm to be really tall? I can see how that would be an advantage.
Height helps a lot, yeah.
That
I mean,
reach.
Definitely really tall guys are hard to cover in Ultimate and help a lot.
Like basketball, right?
Yeah, it's like basketball. And you have a range. Like we also have kind of a shorter guy, Ross Barker, who's impossible to cover on the unders. But then when you get the deep long throws, you kind of want to have the height.
That big arm reaching up there. All right.
So the championship weekend is in Montreal then?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just curious to know, this is another curved disc. What is Ultimate Disc like in Canada? I mean, is it similar
Huge.
to here? Is
Yeah,
it bigger
it's
than it is here?
It's bigger,
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
The reason we're actually going to Montreal is they have the biggest fan base in the league, which is
Really?
bigger than here. We're right around number 2.
Really?
But Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, Ottawa all have teams, and they're all draw a lot of people. And just Ultimate is really big up there. There's less professional sports up there too, so it's really popular.
Well, no wonder you'd be so excited about having a game there, because I imagine the crowd is it's got to be standing room only.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We, like I said, really want to go.
Right, absolutely. So we talked a little bit about how some of the evening games maybe get a little bit ruckus, but we're looking at some noon games that may be more family friendly. So what makes seeing the Radicals such a family friendly event?
Well, I think one of the things is that it's non-contact. So you go out. It plays a little bit like soccer, but even less physical. So I think it's a great kids sport. And we have the integrity rule, which is one of the things that we're really proud of, which is basically the players can overturn a ref if it's calls in their favor, and that usually happens a couple times a game. And I think,
Really?
yeah, I think,
How does that work?
well, basically at any point during the play, if a ref makes a call that like basically is in your team's favor, you're able to overturn it. So if he called
know that it wasn't a
yeah,
correct call.
Yeah. So against our game at Pittsburgh, the ref called one of the Pittsburgh players' discs down, like he didn't catch it, and our player said that he did and overturned the referee, and it was still Pittsburgh's disc.
Love that.
So yeah, it's a really neat part of the sport that I think people like and feels a lot different than other sports where you're trying to sort of cheat the refs or figure out how to make it seem like you're going to win. So
Back to basketball.
yeah, everybody's super competitive, but yet there's a lot of sportsmanship that happens, and
That's
it's
great.
really a valuable part of Ultimate that we want to keep.
Love that
awesome.
idea. I love that idea. So is this going to be the year?
I
That
think
you
so,
win?
yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I said, we started rough, but right now we're rolling, and I feel really good about our chances.
Very good.
Awesome. Well, Tim DeBile, thank you so much for joining us today. Really quick, where can viewers go to find out more information about where to see you guys next?
Our website is radicalsultimate.com, and we have all of our info about our schedule and tickets and everything there.
Awesome. Tim DeBile, thank you so much for joining us today. Tim joined us from the Madison Radicals, American Ultimate Disc League.
Good job.
I got
Good
it.
job.
All right. And we are Wisconsin Family here at Madison Tap. We'll be right back after this.
'Cause every day
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. Janet and I have been enjoying ourselves here at Madison Tap, part of the Robinia Courtyard family of restaurants. Oh, your order's up, I hear.
Oh, I'll be right back.
And we're joined now by John Reske, who is the owner of Robinia Courtyard. John, good to see you again.
You too.
Good to have
Thanks
you back.
for being here, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us as always. So there's a lot of exciting things happening right now for Robinia Courtyard. So I want to start out by talking a little bit about Madison Tap, because that's kind of where we've been filming, the area in which we've been filming. So what's new, what's happening at Madison Tap?
Well, I don't know how much you know about the concept last time we spoke, but it's a tap room. We've got 17 lines, 14 of which are dedicated to a brewer partner that comes in every month, a new Wisconsin brewing company.
Okay.
We've got Ale Asylum on tap right now for today, and then tomorrow One Barrel Brewing Company is going to be coming on and taking over those lines. So
Or
there's kind of
July.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a changing of the guard ceremony that we have, and then they come in and they kind of use the space as an extension of their own brewery and the courtyard as well. So each new brewer partner brings in its own round of new energy, new ideas as far as events goes, and it just keeps the energy flowing through the space. So it's kind of nice.
So who did you say is coming for July?
One Barrel Brewing Company.
One Barrel, okay.
Yep.
And they, I mean, you're trying to focus on local breweries, it sounds like.
Well, not just local, but Wisconsin only.
Wisconsin,
for
right,
sure.
that's- yeah.
And so obviously,
local.
Okay, it is local. The Chinese would agree with you on that one. But yeah, it's nice. So there are a lot of Wisconsin breweries, brewing companies that would love to plant their flag in Madison in our market, and this is a great opportunity for them to do so. And even more surprisingly is that we've got a lot of brewing companies that have, share backyards with us as well, and they're extremely excited to be part of this. So it's a win-win across the board. We enjoy the activity, the sales, and they get to enjoy, basically owning another space for
And your
for a
customers.
good month. Oh, exactly. They're excited. There's so many one-offs, so many exclusive offerings that are only available here from every brewing company as we move through. We're booked through January already.
Wow.
So it's nice.
The one-off, isn't that something they create special just for, I guess, the space?
Exactly, and it's either exclusively for this space or exclusively for their tap room. So,
So it doesn't get bottled or canned, is that
yeah,
what it
generally
means?
not. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it'll just be a few barrels here and there.
So that's what one-off means?
Yeah,
I thought you were trying to say runoff, and you just...
yeah, just no, it's not. No, thank you though.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, I mean, it's so crazy because there's so many breweries now in the state of Wisconsin, microbreweries and whatnot, that I mean, you could probably keep going and never really run out.
No, exactly. It's funny. There's probably a new one that just opened up while we were talking about it.
Yes.
But it's pretty ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. Obviously, there's ample room in the
Right.
marketplace, and there's always room for new creativity and new ideas. And so we're at well over 100, and
Yeah.
that number does go up probably by the month.
Wow, that's incredible.
So yeah, and there's only 12 months in a year. You could easily add 12 new breweries by the time you
Wow.
get to revisit what's going to be on the calendar the following year. So.
I want to make sure that we get a chance to, we're going to switch gears. I want to make sure that we get a chance to talk about Jardin, which is the new restaurant that's opening. So tell us a little bit about what that's going to be.
Well, so that is going to be a full-service restaurant that's going to be in back, holds about 80 people, and it's basically the complement to the other two concepts here between Black Locust Cafe and Madison Tap. Brandon Reed, our executive chef, whom you interacted with last month, he is putting out amazing food. The critics are starting to roll through for Madison Tap, and you would think that we were shooting for good, solid pub fare, and they're actually he's blowing away the critics right now, which is great. So we got a couple of articles coming out, and the proof will be in the pudding there, as they say. But so he's very excited to actually really test drive his talents out of Jardin.
Yeah, he was telling us.
Restaurant.
He was telling us that he really was using the local fare and whatever is freshest to actually drive the menu.
Right, exactly, and
Right.
it's it's not uncommon for Madison actually. Madison's been very very in tune with that concept for the better part of 30 years, right? And so, but he's doing a great job, and he's so creative, and he's always on the move as far as the menu goes. He's again, he's just very creative, and that lends itself well to the seasonality of the menu that he's going to be putting out.
And when is it opening? It's soon.
Yeah, we're shooting for mid-July, right? So it could be second or third week of July. We're ramping up the staffing right now. Obviously, getting the kitchen in order is paramount. You just don't want to be putting out bad food, and it won't be bad, but timing and really dialing that all in is...
Well, you have to work through the kinks. I mean, there's always growing pains when you're developing something new.
Exactly.
So,
and July's kind of a slower month for the calendar year with restaurants, so it'll be a nice opportunity for us to open up and not get completely inundated with people.
Right.
So.
How does that tie in with the courtyard?
Well, they're going to be sharing a portion of the courtyard, outdoor dining, obviously, and then it'll roll nicely into a lot of the events. You know, we throw parties here every night pretty much. We have DJs, live music on Mondays all the time, so it's a great opportunity for sit-down dinners in front of that. Madison Tap for those who just want to grab a beer, a glass of wine, or a cocktail and sitting back.
So Madison Tap or Jardin can use the courtyard?
Well, yes, and as well as Black Locust Cafe. All three of them interact. The courtyard is kind of the meeting point for all three types of people that might be interacting with the three entities.
So if you wanted to go to Jardin for dinner, you could say I'd like a table in the courtyard?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And I recommend it, by the way. It is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It's getting better by the month here. So everything's in bloom right now. And we've got, we have, you know, a lot of cool events coming up too. So I encourage everybody to, you know, check out our calendar on Facebook, especially.
Check out their calendar on Facebook. Well, John Reske, thank you so much for the information today. Thanks for having us, and thank you to all of our viewers. We're Wisconsin Family, and we'll see you next time.